where you see perfectionism popping up is something where you feel a little bit more insecure about an area that feels harder or heavier. And so if you're a woman who feels a little insecure about your body weight, you may notice women either who look great or who don't look great. It may be something you just are focusing more on. And so those are kind of our tells of we're struggling with something, or our teen is struggling in something. Perfectionism is rooted in fear and shame of being discovered that I'm not good enough, or being discovered that I'm not strong enough or smart enough. There's always a not enough kind of aspect to perfectionism. And ultimately, perfectionism is a liar of, if I pretend everything's perfect, then it'll protect me from ever getting hurt or ever having to feel something uncomfortable. When that's not true, it actually kind of keeps us in a pattern of staying stuck. Growth stops, development stops when we're focused on when we're kind of in a perfectionistic mindset. I need to do it just right. I need to always look good, and I should have already known that, or I should have done that perfectly, or I should have performed perfectly. Versus, I'm someone always growing, always learning, and when I don't know something, I lean in to figure it out. So that second mindset allows us to kind of lean into something and gives ourselves permission to not know, or to not do it right the first time, versus that I should have already known this, or I should have already done this. Then there's that critical voice. So it makes doing something new each time that much harder. So you can really see where it keeps your child stuck in a pattern where it stunts their growth and stunts their ability to lean into a subject that may be harder, or lean into a skill that they maybe haven't learned. And there's a big difference between healthy striving, big goals, because having a healthy goal where I want to be the best version of myself, that's great. That's not what we're talking about here with perfectionism. Perfectionism is more of, what will they think if I get this wrong? What if I don't win the spelling bee? Instead of, what if I don't study really hard and do a good job at the spelling bee? It's a difference between having a goal mindset of, I want to be the best version of myself, meet my potential, versus I have to hit this mark or it's not enough. And I'm very fearful of how everyone will see me if I don't hit this mark, versus I'm here in my development, so I have a little more to go. So you can kind of feel the difference between the two mindsets, where healthy striving is great, where perfectionism is stunting. And so what can we do as parents? How can we support our children through these four? It can be hard, again, because they may not let us in. We may not know about, they may not share this with us, because A, they either don't know what to share or how to share it, or B, they're so full of shame for having that struggle, they're having that difficulty, that the last thing in the world they want to do is let anyone in on it. And so how do we reach them? How do we break through that? One is seeing the yellow warning signs of something's different, something's off. This isn't kind of the normal for them. And it can be any of the things I was speaking about today, whether it's isolation, becoming more critical, becoming more irritable, avoiding talking about school if you ask, and, kind of more of a irritable response of like, nothing's going on, instead of like, yeah, I talked to Sally today, about school. And so it is great to help see those yellow warning signs before the crack happens, so that we can say, hey, I'm noticing this pattern. And I'm noticing how quiet you've been over the last few weeks. And, when I was your age, I struggled with like blah, blah, blah. And it really helped when I did this. And so I'm just wondering if, you're struggling with anything, and just know I'm here to talk. And again, giving them room. They may not walk through the door the first time we bring it up. They may not walk through the door and meet us there the third time we bring it up. It may take time for them to come to us when they're ready. But what our role as parents is continuing and consistently giving that message of, I'm here to listen, I'm here to care, I'm here to hear you, rather than I'm going to be critical, you're going to do this in my timing. Because a big question we have to ask ourselves a lot as parents, to kind of check in on ourselves, is this for me? Or is this for them? Am I worried about them and I need my need met to know exactly what's going on right now so that I can manage my own anxiety? Or is this for them to help them explore their own? Because a lot of times we may be serving our own need, putting pressure on them, shutting them down even more. making it even more unlikely for them to be honest about it, rather than just keeping the door open, consistently saying, I'm here when you're ready. And then they walk through it when they're ready. And then we can have that really great conversation that gets to the bottom of it. If you're in the middle of the crack, if it's happened, if they've had the breakdown, if they're struggling, if they don't know what to do, you don't know what to do, that's when we slow down. We pump the brakes and really focus in. It's okay to set boundaries with extracurriculars or AP courses or hard things added on. This is the time when we need to make room for, it's time for some personal reflection. It's time to be journaling. It's time to do some yoga. It's time to kind of lean in on what's going on and why. If you think about them writing that college essay of if I ever had a struggle and how I overcame it, would we want them to write the story of or the essay of I never hit anything, or everything was perfect, see nothing to see here, and I was great the whole time? Or would you rather them have that essay of there was a season where I really struggled, I hit some road bumps, I slowed down, focused on it, grew as a person, overcame, and here's where I am now because of it. That's inspiring. And so we want to be able to give our children permission to be able to do that, to be able to slow down enough to, this is a chance for me to grow. We want our children, our teens, to slow down and figure these things out now when they're in our homes, when we're there to help, not when they're 30 after their second child's born and they have a mortgage and a career and it all implodes on them. That's when cracking isn't an option, right? But it is right now, and where they can develop and grow, and it can help their identity and help their confidence of, one, I know my parents have my back, and two, I know I can overcome things that are hard. We don't know that until we've done it.